I need you all to start being a little bit more discerning about who you let in your mouth. I stand by what I said.
That's it. That's my intro.
Hey, I'm Amanda, you're watching Swell Entertainment, and today we are talking about veneers, how they've become essentially the industry standard in Hollywood, and therefore the industry standard in everything else, and also veneer techs. I don't have veneers. Hi, I had braces, okay? I probably wouldn't have needed braces, but I hated pain, and I didn't like pulling out my baby teeth, and these grew in weird, but I had braces for like half a year. We did a whole other video about the Smile Direct Club, okay, when they filed for bankruptcy and all this stuff. That's another video. Go watch that one from last year. But really quick, let me tell you about the sponsor for today's video, Squarespace. Obviously, everyone these days has social media, but what if you really set yourself apart by having your own website? Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform to help you build anything you might need to help succeed online. They have a ton of website templates to choose from, and with Fluid Engine, you can customize any part of it, unlocking complete creativity with your website. They have a ton of visual design tools to make your website stand out, and you can connect all of your accounts so that your digital footprint leads back to your website. They give you the ability to measure your end-to-end online performance with powerful website and seller analytics. Go to squarespace.com to get started for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/swellentertainment to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I know a few people that have veneers. One person who got them fairly recently. I also really wanted to talk about this recently as well because there's someone who just seemingly got veneers, possibly because the internet bullied her into getting veneers. There is a show called Exo Kitty, and it's from the To All the Boys I've Loved Before universe. It's a show, it's a whole thing. I never watched it, just wasn't really interesting to me personally. The lead actress, Anna Cathcart, who plays Kitty. I didn't know this at the time, but apparently while the first season of the show was airing, because they recently started advertising season 2, people were like, why does she look different? Why does she look different? Apparently there were some people that said that her teeth were very distracting on the show, and people were like, what? There's quite a lot of things that could lead to, teeth being discolored. It's not necessarily bad oral hygiene. I knew someone who had discoloration because of medication they took when they were a baby, and their teeth were literally just permanently stained like that. When they started growing up, their adult teeth or whatever, and their baby teeth fell out, some of their new teeth had it and some of them didn't, and they ended up getting caps and things like that for themselves. But she just had some discoloration in her teeth, but her smile is really cute. Like, she's got a lot of variation in her smile, and I like that a lot. She's young. She looks young. That's normal. You guys are mean. But there were people who were criticizing her smile a lot and saying that her mouth looked rotten, apparently.
Apparently, Anna Cathcart got her teeth done. I hope it wasn't due to bullying. We really only get these quick glimpses of her teeth, and I'm sure we'll see more of it in season 2, but there's not a lot to go based off of. Just as a reminder, what she has going on is that she's just missing 2 teeth, the laterals, and they just never formed for her.
Okay, because let's talk about veneers for a second. That's what got me fired up about that, was these people doing videos like, did you guys bully this poor girl into getting veneers? And then I started seeing all of these videos about people going to veneer tech school and doing classes to get certified to be veneer techs. Dental veneers are custom-made shells that fit over the front surfaces of your teeth. They conceal cracks, chips, stains, and other cosmetic imperfections. Veneers are one of the most common cosmetic dentistry treatments. There are several types of veneers available depending on your specific goals. So I feel like what I was familiar with growing up, because I would have friends, like when we were getting braces and things like that would have one tooth that wouldn't migrate properly, or it was smaller, it was discolored, things like that. And they would get I always thought it was like a cap, is how I saw it more of anything than an actual veneer. But it's essentially like a fake tooth that goes over the other tooth, okay? And what they do is they file down the tooth to a little nubbin, and then they put the cap over it. Within the last year or so, a friend of mine got veneers, and he admitted that he did not do enough research before getting veneers. And I openly told him, I said, what do you mean? You spent so much money and you didn't do research before you just got veneers. Now we have healthline.com here. What to know before you get dental veneers. Dental veneers are thin, tooth-colored shells that are attached to the front surface of teeth to improve their appearance. They can be used to treat cosmetic concerns like chip, broken, disclosed, Often made from porcelain or resin composite material and are permanently bonded to your teeth. Some people may only get 1 veneer in the case of a broken or chipped tooth, but many get between 6 to 8 veneers in order to create an even, symmetrical smile. The top front 8 teeth are the most common commonly applied veneers. Porcelain veneers are more expensive, may require more than one visit to the dentist, stronger and longer lasting than composite veneers, more expensive. Resin-based veneers are less tooth needs to be removed to prepare the tooth. Veneers often can be applied in just one visit to the dentist, less expensive than porcelain veneers, last 5 to 7 years, easier to fix, may get damaged more easily. And then they have some images of before and afters. And these ones, they look mostly the same. I got veneers in Turkey. They left me in pain looking like a shark. This is by Emily Lefroy. He is spilling the truth about veneer removal. Jack James, 22, was initially thrilled with the results of his $39,000 dental procedure after flying to Istanbul, Turkey for the surgery. The Britain-based model loved the look of new pearly whites at first following the procedure in September 2022, but when his gums later started to bleed, he realized they'd have to be removed. However, James was horrified to find his original teeth had been shaved down for the veneers, recalling them looking like something out of a horror movie. That's the one thing that I've heard from a couple of people, including my friend that got veneers. He didn't realize how filed down they would have to be. And once you file down the tooth, you can't build that back up. That's where your teeth are now. Those nubs, that is how your natural teeth are going to look like now. If you have the money for the upkeep of veneers for the rest of your life, then okay, that's your call to make. Obviously, at the end of the day, regardless of the end of this video, you have your call to make. It's your teeth. But that's now a lifelong commitment because those are going to be your teeth, the base of your teeth for the rest of your life. They looked good until they started to bleed and hurt. I searched for an emergency dentist and had x-rays done. According to James, the dentist told him his teeth were a mess and he had an infection, recalling that his gums leaked pus and his breath was terrible. The news only got worse. They said it would cost up to $26,000 to fix. After getting in touch with the Turkey clinic that performed the surgery, they insisted it wasn't their fault. They said I'd have to pay again to get it fixed, he claimed. Desperate, he flew out to Turkey again in May to have the veneers removed, which cost nearly $6,000. I don't know. I really worry about this now, seemingly trying to make it very common that people are traveling around the world for cosmetic procedures. That's not a new thing. Obviously, people have always traveled for cosmetic procedures, but now we've got TikTok happening where it's like, oh yeah, you go to South Korea and then it's like, oh, each day is a different cosmetic thing I'm having done to show the difference in price. I saw a very good, video from a doctor based in the US that was like, maybe your friends went and did it and they were really lucky and they didn't have any complications. But when you're like in the 1 to 10% that has a potential complication and you are now up in the air or you're back home and you can't get a hold of your doctor from another country, then what is your plan? What is your emergency plan if something bad happens? Especially when you get something like a very serious procedure like filing your teeth down or a BBL or anything like that. In May 2022, a 19-year-old named Anya shared a TikTok titled "Worst Pain of My Life, Wow," where she documented the process. In the clip, she showed off her pearly whites all filed down to stubby-looking teeth. Although her TikTok followers insisted it was going to ruin her childbirth and she'd regret it, Anya ultimately called it the best decision I've ever made. Dr. Shadi Manucheri, a dentist based in London, told her TikTok followers that the procedure has the ability to damage the tooth's nerve, which is why it isn't recommended to be done on healthy teeth. Many of Anya's commenters shared similar opinions. As one commented, "Girl, I work as a dental nurse, and then I wanted my teeth done too. But in a few years, you'll be spending thousands on root canals and implants." Some of these are just clearly like they nubbed them down a little bit. And then in other instances, they are just, oh gosh, everyone's smile looks the same. Okay, let's go to TikTok.
What on earth is going on with this whole veneer tech situation? This is literally ludicrous. If you guys are not yet on veneer tech TikTok, oh my God. To catch you up to speed, there are certain people offering 2-day courses on how to do veneers on real people. And then they're offering these certificates for veneer techs, which is not a real position at all. And these people are going out there and literally destroying mouths. No way on earth that you can learn everything that you need to know about veneers in 2 days. I feel so bad for the people who are being misinformed and lied to and being treated by these veneer techs. Now, some of the people online are saying, oh, it's too expensive to go to a dentist, this and that, blah, 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 and the veneer techs are offering better deals. But let me tell you something. All of this black and brown tooth structure, these are cavities. If you put any sort of a material over a cavity, what you're doing is you're trapping in an infection. The only place for the infection to go then would be down the root of the tooth and into the bone area. That quite literally is going to cause irreversible damage to the tooth structure, and getting that fixed by an actual licensed dentist is going to cost so much more than these veneer techs will charge for their veneers.
In some of these instances, that's where the concern is that there are people who are being denied dentistry for whatever reason, okay, or at least the cosmetic dentistry that veneers classify as. And so then they go to a veneer tech who's going to ask less questions, to have less due diligence. And so these before pictures, I can't really show you because some of them are incredibly gory is not the word. It's not safe for YouTube. Let's just say that. Like there's so much decay and rot. They should be going to a professional, not a dental tech or a veneer tech that has gone through a $6,000 2-day certification.
VBS Smiles will be offering a class to help you start your veneer business. This 2-day class will not only offer a vendor's list, it will be catered. You will also learn some premium veneer techniques.
Premium veneer techniques. This is the thing as well. It's like, I am all for nail techs. If you are incredibly talented at nails and you have proper health and safety, for yourself and all this stuff and your clients with nails, I am fine with nail techs, okay, that are not necessarily have gone to cosmetology school and things like that. I don't think I can legally say that. I think you need a license, okay? But that's one thing. Hands, okay, as long as you've got proper health and safety, no one's getting infections and losing a finger, I think we're okay. To go into someone's mouth to file down teeth, this is not a side business. And I think that's the problem with a lot of the veneer techs that I'm seeing, is it's being sold as this is a new offering you can make at your salon. This is a side hustle business. There's so much money in teeth. That's crazy. You are dealing with people's mouths. There's different bacterias. There's different soft tissue. There's different hard tissue. Stop. This isn't a side hustle. This isn't a startup business. This is something that it involves people's health. It takes schooling. It takes years. The materials you use even have to be the highest grade quality because it involves people's mouths. So this video here, I don't think I can play the audio, but it says when you realize you can make over $5K a week being a veneer tech. Comments are off, understandably. Certificate of completion. We've got A-List Smiles Atlanta Veneer Specialist. And these are the people who did that class. Full veneer kit, taught by A-List CEO and Colombian doctor. Live model practice. Become a veneer technician for $6,000. As you can see on the video, it says, teach me please. So when you go to that comment, it's on this video, me pulling up to my veneer training class after finding out I don't need to be a dentist to do veneers. Your next veneer specialist coming to a city near you. A-List Smiles Atlanta is hosting another veneer training class May 20th through 21st. Someone said, you absolutely do. You have to be licensed in GA. Sound of the police. Someone said, I swear Atlanta is filled with hustlers. I ain't mad at it. LOL. Atlanta veneer specialist replied and said, it's a lifestyle. That's scary, but I'm interested. Don't be scared. We'll guide you throughout the whole process and we will inform you on the legalities. Okay. Someone said, I've always wanted to get veneers from someone who got their stuff in a Tupperware container. This whole thing stresses me out because he's right. The health and safety risks here are just so big. And someone's going to be like, oh, well, I deserve to have pretty teeth or things like that. I am of the opinion that everyone has the right to healthy teeth, has the right to good health. It's not always the case, and also with the US healthcare system and our dentals. The fact that I need 2 separate insurances for different parts of my body, like to get my glasses, my health insurance doesn't cover that, okay? My teeth, my health insurance, that's insane. What do you mean I need different types of insurance for different parts of my body? That's so stupid. The people who need the care and attention to what's clearly abscesses, what's clearly decay and rot in their teeth, yes, I believe they have a right to get that treated and taken care of. But paying someone to just put a cap over it does not solve that problem. That rot is still there. That damage is still there. And this is only going to trap that and potentially make it worse, make it swollen, infected. And then I think we've all seen, especially if you're a girl, I've got my ears pierced, okay? We've all seen infected piercings. Do you want to know what that looks like when it's inside your mouth? Because that bacteria from the piercing is now essentially trapped inside that cap of your tooth. What's going to happen then? It's not pretty. It's not good. Whatever you wanted with your pretty smile is not going to happen now, because now you have to go through potentially an emergency situation. You know, I know people who had various issues growing up, whether from home situations and things like that, and dental hygiene was just not something that they had it within themselves or the means to take care of at home for a variety of reasons. And the health issues, them being sick constantly, was a direct result of that, in my personal opinion, okay? As a child at the time, but still. Like, there's a reason you're supposed to brush your teeth as much as you're supposed to, okay? It's because you're getting rid of bacteria and things like that. There is a buildup, there's a grime. Your mouth is an important part of your body, understandably. Please do your due diligence. Like, when I heard when my friend, literally, I was like, oh, your teeth look good. Like, you know, like after he got his veneers, he was like, yeah, I like them. They were really expensive. I don't think I did enough research though, because like I didn't know that they filed X, Y, and Z down. I was like, what do you mean? This stresses me out so much. Please, please, please. I understand doing it fully, okay? As someone also, I get cosmetic procedures done. I get Botox. I've gotten lip fillers. I've gotten PRF done and things like that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to look at your options and going to a couple of different places to figuring out who you like, but also figure out who you trust. Like I got a PRF, that vampire facial thing, microneedling, okay? I had gone to them for other things first, so I knew what their cleaning practices were. I knew there wasn't a risk of them cross-contaminating needles and things like that when doing my face, because there is a rise of people getting HIV from contaminated needles from these injection places, okay? Because people are getting their licenses and such, and they are not doing their proper cleaning and things like that. The same goes here. People are in your mouth. Do your due diligence, please, okay? It's not about helping a small business. This is your health and life. You have to be on top of these things. If you want veneers for whatever your reasons may be, that is your prerogative as an individual to do. I can't say the word individual. That is your right to do. Please, please, please go to a dentist. Make sure everything is good, okay? Hi, I want to do veneers. Hi, I want to do X, Y, and Z. Hi, I want to do da, 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 da. Make sure things are good before you let any random Sam, Joe, or Tommy, I don't know the names, Sam, Dick, or Harry? What are the names? Anyways, before you let anyone in your mouth, okay, do your due diligence. Do you ever just say something and you're like, this is gonna be clipped? Before you let any random Tom, Dick, or Harry in your mouth, okay? Please go and do your due diligence before you go and start filing down your little teeth to numbins. Also, same with traveling around the world. Please do your due diligence. Oh, it was too hard because of the language barrier. Then don't do it. I'm sorry. Like, I'm really worried about our lack of critical thinking skills and things like that happening right now. Because what do you mean? I wanted it, so I got it. Cool. That applies to a bag or shoes, not messing with your teeth, okay? Not getting a whole new ass, okay? Like, we gotta be a little more discerning, just a little bit. Do you have veneers? Do you know anyone who's got veneers? Do you ever have one veneer? Do you have a full set? Do you've got the caps? Have you ever traveled out of the country for medical procedures? Let me know, comment down below. Please do not stop with the veneer text. Please stop. Reminder that I stream on Twitch. Reminder that Swell Entertainment is now available on Spotify. Reminder to use code SWELL for 10% off on gamer subs. Shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for supporting my Patreon. If you'd also like to support my Patreon, leave us down below. Like someone on social media. That'll be up here. And that's gonna be a hell of a day. Goodbye. Stay tuned for my new podcast, My Shiny Teeth and Me, dropping this May.
Thank you, Oz, Eva, Ayana, Abby, Angel, Goth, Glynn, Palace, Pink, Jasmine, Lauren, Amy, Aslan, Medic, Rosie, Victor, Andrew, Tenzin, Sam, Mae West, Michael, Ryan, Adira, Nathan, Zwink, Literal, Jeffrey, Randy, QWERTY, Nomad, Thomas, Tasha, Donnie, Winter, Kenny, Robert, Cameron, Elliott.